Welcome to Bio 361, Biochemistry 1, online from Stony Brook University. I'm Professor Joanne Souza. I'm in the Department of Biochemistry and Cell Biology, even though my PhD is in psychology, and I am the director of the Biology Online program. This orientation will help you learn how to use the Blackboard site and how to navigate the course as an online course. I'm the director of the Biology Online program, so any problems you have with the administration of the course, be sure to contact me. I'm hoping to get to know many of you through your introductory posts that you'll be making in this course, and also throughout the course during the recitation discussions. The entire course is managed through the Blackboard system. So you'll log on to the course from your course menu in Blackboard. And if you notice, you will see that the left-hand menu is where you'll be guided to the things that you need to use throughout this course. I'd like to call your attention to the announcements. Because this is an online course, the announcements are very important. Please make sure that you look at the announcements every time you log on. In most cases, the important ones will also be emailed to you. So first, if you look at faculty information, you'll see information about the course instructor director, which is Dr. Sanford Simon. He's part of our medical school faculty, and he does much research in the area of biochemistry. You will also see the other faculty, who you consider almost guest lecturers in this case. Stony Brook University has a very good roster of research faculty in biochemistry. Each one of them is a master of biochemistry in the area in which they do research. So each one of them has taken a piece of the course to teach you about that portion of the course that their research is focused on. So you will be getting the view of some extremely exceptional scientists in the area for biochemistry. And as you're aware, the MCATs and many of the exams that you have to take either to get into medical school or to go to higher education in your PhD level courses also require biochemistry, and they're fantastic people to learn from. If you go to textbook information, you'll see information about the textbook that we use for this course. Next, of course, go to course information and syllabus. I'm going to start with the course syllabus. Make sure you download it and read through it very, very carefully. We found that many questions that students ask us, the answers are actually in the syllabus. This is an upper division course, so we do expect you to read through the syllabus carefully. I'm going to focus on a few important points of the syllabus. One, of course, is the course technical requirements. Because this is an online course, you want to make sure that you can access the videos and that you can access all portions of the course, including the PDFs. So there's information as far as course technical requirements that you should look at and make sure that your computer meets the requirements. Do remember that this is an asynchronous online course, which means that you can watch the videos any time of day that you wish, but there are specific and rigid due dates, 2 per week actually, that you will have to adhere to for submitted assignments. There are also exam dates, which are live and proctored exams. They're either done here at Stony Brook University on our West Campus or at our Manhattan campus, or if you've made arrangements with me previously, at remote locations that are approved throughout the United States and Canada. Next, I'll go over the grading policy with you. If you'll notice, there are 4 sections of the grading. 3 of them are exams. Each exam counts for 25% of the course. The course is broken up into thirds as far as content, and the final exam is not cumulative. It's the last third of the course. 25% of your grades, however, is something called learning assets. You will see that each lecture has been broken up into segments, approximately 2, sometimes 3, and then there's a learning asset for each segment. There's approximately 5 to 6 lectures assigned per week, which gives you a total of approximately 80 learning assets, which are a combination of quizzes and discussions. These learning assets are designed for 2 purposes. One, to help you, of course, learn the content. But second is to build your problem-solving skill level up to the level that you'll need for more complex problem solving within biochemistry. Next, if you go to the last few pages of the syllabus, you will see a complete topic outline and schedule. You will see everything as far as each week and what will be assigned so that you can plan your time accordingly. Next, I'd like to go over the learning asset directions. Again, there is approximately 80 of these required learning assets in this course, so make sure you understand the criteria and exactly what the objectives of them are. There's also a video on how to search the university databases and how to avoid plagiarism. Stony Brook University and the Department of Biochemistry and Cell Biology take academic integrity very seriously. Any academic integrity breach is, if deemed guilty, is an F in the course. So please be very, very careful to put everything in your own words and to cite your sources if necessary. As far as the learning asset directions, you will see the objectives of them. Many times we find that students try to memorize facts and concepts, and then they don't carry over those facts and concepts from their courses that they took before this one, and they don't know how to put it all together to solve a more complex problem. In other words, you have to build a skill of complex problem solving, and in order to do that, you need to practice it. That's what some of the learning assets are designed to help you do. There's a quiz portion of the learning asset, and then there's a discussion portion of the learning asset if you seem to be having a problem based on the quiz portion with this particular area of content. That's when you'll go to what we call a recitation discussion to help you clarify and strategize with a teaching assistant and your other colleagues until you get mastery of the subject area. So here's the quiz portion. You'll be given what they call concept recall questions that will call back into memory. It's like putting the tools on the table before you attack a complex problem. So you'll look at these scaffold questions or concept recall questions, bringing into memory again some of the things that you learned previously. Then you'll be given a complex question where you'll put all this information together, synthesize it, and come up with a strategy to solve the complex question. You'll also see directions and procedures for the learning asset recitation discussion if you fall below a certain threshold in the quiz. This is not punitive in any way. It's actually instead to help you clarify and gain further mastery of an area that you may not quite be clear about as identified by the quiz. You can also gain up to 2 points back for the grade that you did receive on the quiz. Next, I'm going to go into weekly assignments to show you what you need to do each week. A new weekly assignment will always come up at the top each week on Monday morning. In the assignment, you will see at the very top the assignment for the week. If you open it, it will give you specific directions on exactly what you need to do. If you notice here for Lecture 1, it tells you to watch Modules 1A and 1B and what chapter to read in the textbook that corresponds with that lecture. You'll see all 5 lectures for the first week that need to be covered, and then you'll see something called graded assignments due. If you'll notice, there are always 2 graded assignment due dates for the week. One is on Thursday and one is on Sunday. Make sure that you complete those lecture videos and the learning assets that go with them by the due dates that are mentioned in your assignment. So I'm going next to go into Lecture 1 to give you an example. You will see folders, one for each lecture, showing you what the learning objectives are for that particular lecture. If you open it, you will see what your assigned reading is. You'll see something that gives you exact directions. And then you'll see the segments for that particular lecture. If you click on segment 1A, for example, you will see the PowerPoints that you can print out and take notes on while you watch the lecture. You'll see a link to the lecture video, and then you'll see the learning asset quiz that you will take after you complete the video. To see the video, you click on it, it will take you right to the video, press play, and listen to it to the end. When it's over, you'll come back to this segment and you'll take the learning asset learning quiz. I would recommend taking it right away after you watch the video so that it's very recent in your mind. In order to take the quiz, you would press begin, and remember, do not start the quiz until you have enough time to complete it, because you cannot start it and then go back in to it later. You need to complete it in one sitting. You do have an hour and 30 minutes to complete it, which is more than enough time to not only look at the questions, but research what you think the answers might be, go back to your textbook, to the lecture PowerPoints, to other course material, go to Google and see if you can decide on what your answer to the questions are. You should have more than enough time. So you'll press begin, and if you'll notice, you'll see a question come up. I'm going to call your attention to 3 very important points here. Number 1, you cannot move forward without choosing an answer because you'll never be able to go back. So focus on this particular question, research it, pay attention, study this particular area, and then pick an answer to the question. I would write it down so that you know what your answer was. Then what you'll do is you'll press Save Answer, and you'll go on to the next question by pressing the arrow as shown here. You'll keep doing that to approximately 3 to 4 concept recall questions before you get to the complex question. The very last question is your complex question. You will see all the prior concept recall questions to call them back into your memory, and you're told to recall your answers to the previous 3 questions and then to take what you know and answer the complex question. You get 5 points for answering the complex question correctly. And you will press Save and Submit. Next, you'll see a screen that said that you completed it. If you don't see this screen, it means you did not complete the quiz. Press OK, and on the very next screen, what you'll see is an attempted score out of the total score for the learning asset. If it falls below a certain threshold, which is that you either got the complex question marked incorrectly or that you did 2 or more concept recall questions incorrectly, you will be taken to the discussion recitation to help you strategize and avoid any further confusion. So press OK, and you'll immediately be taken back to segment 1A. At this point now, if you fell below the threshold, you will see the recitation discussion show up. If you did not fall below the threshold, then you will not see this show up and you can just move on to the next segment. If you did, however, it is to your benefit to go into the recitation discussion and find out where your thinking went wrong so that you can clarify any confusion before you get to exams. If you click on it, you'll see something that looks like this. I'm showing you at the top here something that says List View, and then over there in green right next to List View, it actually says Tree View. Make sure that you are in Tree View every time you go into the discussions. And then click Expand All, and you'll be able to see the posts of anyone who posted before you so that you can now join the discussion and join the discussion with your colleagues. If you click on it, you'll see directions that say discuss with each other your reasoning for each scaffold question response and the strategy to solving the complex question. and you can post more than once. This is supposed to be a strategy session on how to come up with the correct answers to all of the questions in the quiz. There will be a teaching assistant there to help monitor and to help mentor you through the process, to help you strategize and figure out any confusion and clarify it before you move on to the exams. One more portion of the course on the left menu, you'll see something called My Groups. For this first week and throughout the course, you can use these discussions as well. If you click on them, you will see 3 forums. One's for administrative questions. You can ask anything about the administration of the course, and we will get back to you within 24 hours if you post here. We recommend that you do that instead of emailing us, because if you have a question, chances are many other students do too, so we can answer it here. Next is your introductory post. Before you begin the course, we ask you to please introduce yourself to the class. There are introductions from your teaching assistants that you can read through and find out a little bit about them, and we will respond to each one of your introductory posts between all of us. The last forum is for content questions. Anytime during the semester, if you have a question that's even outside the learning assets, anything to do with any content that you're not sure of, post your question here. Professor Simon will answer you, and you'll be able to get clarity on anything that you think you're confused about. As far as the introductions, again, if you click on it, make sure you're in tree view, that little green tree view there that you can hardly see. Hit expand all, and you'll be able to see everyone's post. As you can see, many of your colleagues posted their introductions already. If you want, you can click Message Actions up at the top, check that little box, and then Collect, and you'll be able to read through everyone's introductions so you get to know a little more about your colleagues in the class, because I'm sure at one point or another you'll be discussing course content with them in the recitation discussions. Don't forget, in the content question area of the course, you can ask any content questions that you wish that have to do with the videos, that have to do with the textbook, and that also has to do with any of the concept recall questions. I want to wish you good luck in Bio 361 and warn you that the course does move very quickly. It's a very vigorous course in 14 weeks in the regular academic year. So in the 7.5 weeks of the summer, it's very intense and it moves very quickly. So don't fall behind. Those due dates are there to bring you through the course in a way that you can learn the material without having to cram and memorize. If at any point you need help, reach out. There are faculty in this course that can help you, and you have 7 teaching assistants that you can choose from to help you as far as learning content. Make sure you meet the deadlines. They are hard and fast. We do not accept late work. And don't forget to be there for your live exams. Good luck, and I'll get to know you a little bit better in the course. Thank you.